students. Today we are going to continue with poem number 6 and the poem name is Mist. We have already understood this poem in our earlier online session. But before we start further, let us first quickly revise whatever we have learned earlier, and also along with that, I'm sure you all are ready with a notebook and a pen so that we can write all the important points that we are going to learn today. Alright, so let's start. Now, the poet expresses it was a sunny day, the breeze was filled with smell of hay, it was a harvest season and the stadium was located near the area of cultivation. The poet was a cricketer and he wore a spotless white flannels. Now white flannels is the spotless uniform, the dress which the cricketers wear. Then he was quite happy and boastful about the weather. Now there were ladies who sat in the gallery watching the match progressing, and the dicky birds sang, and it was a perfect day and a magic of summer according to the poet. Now the player was disappointed as he missed the easiest catch. He was unable to understand whom to blame for this. Was it because of Hummingbee or because of thought of Clara? All the other players in the team scolded him for missing the easy catch. At the end, he gives up on this game and he decides that henceforth he will play golf as he feels golf is better than the cricket. He bungles a catch and he believes that life is empty of any pleasure and laughter. I'm sure students, you all have understood about this poem. And now let us understand something more about this poem. Now let's look at the literary devices used in this poem. Now the first one is the rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme is a pattern of lines that rhymes with the other lines in a poem or in a stanza. The rhyme scheme can be determined by looking at the end word in each line. Like here in this case, the rhyme scheme for this poem is A B A B C D C D. Now let us look how we had find this rhyme scheme. Okay, we will understand this with the first stanza. The sun in the heavens was beaming. The breeze bore an odor of hay. My flannels were spotless and gleaming. My heart was unclouded and gay. Now, in these 4 lines, the ending words in the first line, that is beaming, and then here gleaming. Now, these 2 words are rhyming. So, hence, I will denote these 2 words with the alphabet A, and here also A, right? Now, in the next one is the word hay and gay are again rhyming. So, I will denote this as B, right? Now, we'll move ahead. The ladies, all gaily apparelled, sat around looking on the match. In the treetops, the dicky birds caroled. All was peace till I bungled that catch. Now here, the ending word apparelled and caroled are again rhyming. So I will denote this as C, right? And the word match and catch is again rhyming. So I will denote this as D. Alright, so hence I am getting the rhyme scheme for this poem as A B C D C D. Alright. Now students, The next type of device used in this poem is personification. Now, personification is used as literally device in which human characteristics are given to inanimate object or the other creatures that are not human. Like in this case, that is in this poem, the line "the dicky birds caroled" is a personification, as birds are given the human quality of singing caroled. Then the next one is the bee that inveterate hummer. Now here again it is a personification, as bees are given human quality of hummer. Now the next is alliteration. Now here the poet has also used alliteration, and alliteration is the repetition of same sound, like in this case the breeze bore. Now here the letter B in the word breeze and again the letter B in the word bore are repeated sound. Then in the next one, by the handful my hair. Now here again the letter H, that is her in handful, and again the letter H, that is her in hair, is again repeated sound. Now another literary device used in this poem is onomatopoeia. Now, an onomatopoeia is a word that actually looks like the sound it makes, and we can almost hear those sounds as we read, like in this case, the bee was droning. Now, in this case, droning is a sound, hence it is onomatopoeia. It is a sound made by bee. Then the next one is I utter a groan. Now here the word utter is a sound, hence it is again onomatopoeia. Then the next one is the bawler's low querulous mutter. Now here mutter is again a sound, hence it is onomatopoeia. Now the next figure of speech used in this poem is exclamation. Now exclamation form is used to arrest greater attention or sudden strong emotions are expressed. Like in this case, when a horror there soared through the air. Now here in this case, when a horror, there is an exclamation sign, right? Then again the word a horror express a sudden strong emotions, right? Now let's move ahead. The next type of literary device used in this poem is hyperbole. Now hyperbole is a figure of speech in which exaggeration is used for emphasis or effect. It is an extravagant statement, like in this case, "O near, if I live to a million." Now here the word million is exaggerated for better poetic device. Now the next one is my heart was sere deep with a robin. Now in this case the statement is over exaggerated statement. Alright, now the next is inversion. Now the inversion is the natural order of the word in a line and is reversed for the sake of rhythmic effect. Like in this statement, shall I feel such a terrible pang? Now here it is not in the correct prose order. So the correct prose order will be I shall never feel such a terrible pang. Now let's understand the value points of this poem. The poet was standing behind the wicket as a wicket keeper. The batsman belonged to the opposite team. The poet had to catch the ball. that the bowler had thrown at the wicket. Now here the poem is based on a cricket and the poet here is a wicket keeper. Now to understand this poem we also need to understand something about cricket, right? Now here the poet was standing behind the wicket, right? So he is a wicket keeper, correct? Now naturally the batsman was his opposite team. Okay. Now what was the poet's responsibility? Yes. Now since he was a wicket keeper, his responsibility was to catch the ball that the bowler throws at the wicket. Now the ball hits the bat, so naturally it is a duty of the wicket keeper, that is the poet, to catch the ball. And in this poem, the poet missed the easy catch and he had disappointed his team and supporters. So, in this poem, the poet expresses his sadness and the reason for dropping the easy catch. Now, is it easy to understand the poem? Right? It was a sunny day in the harvest season. The stadium was located near an area of cultivation and the breeze carried the smell of hay. The birds sang. The poet wore spotless white flannels. As he was a cricketer, it would have been a perfect day, but something went wrong. Now here, it was a sunny day. The breeze filled the gallery with the smell of hay. That means it was a harvest season and it shows that the stadium was located near an area of cultivation. Correct? So the poet could smell of hay, right? Now, the poet was a cricketer and he wore a spotless white cricketer's dress. Now, he was not at all worried about the match being played. Rather, he was looking at the environment, he was looking at the ladies who sat in the gallery watching the match progressing and was looking at the environment, he was looking at the birds singing, and it would have been a perfect day, rather it was a perfect day, but something went wrong. Yes, the player missed an easy catch. Now let's understand further. But somehow the poet missed the easy catch and disappointed his team and supporters. The magic of summer seems to have distracted the poet from the game. The humming of a bee, the thought of Clara, the magic of summer made him miss an easy catch. Now here the poet thinks whom to blame. Was it the magical summer that distracted the player's attention? Or was it the bee's humming sound? Or was it the thought of Clara that distracted the player, due to which he missed the easy catch? When the poet had bungled the catch, he was criticized by his team fellows. He was so disappointed that he finally decides to drop this game and play golf. He even made his mind that if somebody in future will ask him to play cricket, then he will firmly reject to do so. And now the poet believes that his life is empty of any pleasure and laughter. Now students, we have already understood earlier that reference to the context is an explanation of a quote or any stanza. Like in this case, we are going to refer these lines. Sat round, looking on at the match. In the tree top, the dicky birds caroled. All has peace. Now, the first question here is, who sat round looking at the match? And the answer is, the ladies sat round looking at the match. Now, the next question is, how were they dressed? And the answer is, The ladies were all gaily apparelled according to the poet. Now the next one. What match is being referred here? And the answer is a cricket match is being referred to here. Now let's move ahead. What ruined the piece? The piece was ruined when the poet bungled or missed the catch. Now students, at any moment you can pause the video and you can write the reference to the context. Right? Now at the end of this video below there is a link given wherein you have to click the link and submit your answers in the worksheet. Okay? Sai Ram and take care.